What is a woman? This question may have just gotten a bit more complicated, at least according to the left. In the political discourse, this question has mostly been associated with transgender ideology and the idea that you can simply identify as whichever gender you may prefer, regardless of the physiological sex that you were born with.
What is a woman? Well, you're at the Women's March, you must have some idea.
It could be many things to many people.
Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas.
You're not a scientist, you're not a gender studies major.
No.
How do you know that you're a man?
I guess because I got a dick.
However, what if you have been recognized as a woman your entire life and never had to undergo any sort of gender reassignment, and yet, inherently at the core, you have male physiology? This is indeed the case for Imane Khelif from Algeria, who just won the extremely controversial boxing match against Italy's Carini at the Olympics. In fact, Carini dropped to her knees after just 47 seconds, crying, "This is not right, this is not right." And she said that she had never been hit so hard in her life before. Khelif is a well-established boxer with a very bright career who rose to the top very fast in Algeria, where gender transition is legal. In fact, Khelif's father initially disapproved of women going into the athletic boxing domain. However, last year, Khelif was disqualified from the World Women's Boxing Championship because she failed the gender eligibility test. She proved high levels of testosterone, but more than that, the president of the IBA alleges that she is proven to have XY chromosomes, male physiology. Apparently there's not much transparency about these gender tests at the IBA, which is why a lot of people, especially on the left, still side with Khelif. However, what's more important to note is that initially Khelif appealed the decision, but then withdrew the appeal. It is very well possible that Khelif herself only just found out about this harsh reality. Maybe she indeed spent her entire life thinking that she was a woman, or she may have noticed changes during puberty. There are many photos circulating of her with a bulge in her pants.
Normalize the bulge, we are normalizing the bulge.
And so perhaps the realization truly just hit her that now her entire career may be crushed. Imagine only just finding out that the person you thought you could identify as your entire life may not be who you really are. And especially coming from Algeria, Khelif may be terrified because transgenderism is extremely frowned upon. Yes, Khelif may not be transgender because Khelif was born with a physiological disorder. However, she or he, whether consciously or unconsciously, lied about their sex. These disorders are not quite as rare as you may think they are, and especially in an athletic domain where high skills and especially natural talent will push you to the top because they give you an incredible boost, a physiological advantage above everyone else. It is very likely that they accumulate at the top, and so at the Olympics. What matters in the end, though, is that there was a huge physical disbalance between Khelif and Carini at the boxing match, and therefore it is unfair. Studies have proven, for example, that the striking power of men is 162% higher compared to women. Especially in the athletic sphere of fighting, where severe harm can be done to the opponent, we must let these athletes undergo strict physical testing. And yes, gender eligibility tests fall under that. We can't have men beating up women just because we want to pander to their feelings. Yes, I do indeed have sympathy for Khelif, who probably didn't know about his physiological sex for a long time in his life. But at this point, he is most likely aware, and therefore he must maybe not resign, but at least not compete against women in the Olympics. The Olympics should by no means be all about inclusivity. Athletic talent is pure physics, and physics requires truth. In fact, It shouldn't be about inclusivity because it's quite the opposite. The Olympics are about exclusivity. The most exclusive, hard-working talents who rise to the top against all odds because they fought hard to get there. What should happen now is that Khelif discloses his gender eligibility test and shows whether his chromosomes are XX or, which is most likely, XY. What do you think? I am interested to hear your opinion in the comments down below. Thank you for your attention.